Okay, this is Ed Winslow, and in this video I'm going to talk about city pages, how to create city pages. I'm going to show you two different sites, both a little bit different, but same concept. Okay, and this one here, this one is fully built out on a nationwide basis. I think they have, they just went after all the major metro markets. There's a lot of different ways to implement a strategy like this. You can go after a lot of smaller towns, um, but you can go after major cities as well. Now, when you start to go nationwide with this strategy, you do start to trigger the Google algorithm, and the results just continue to get better on Google. Now, this one you can see here are all your top markets, and as you can see, if look at what they did here. Okay, in this one, you've got Porta Potty Pros, the best place to rent porta potties. That is a keyword phrase. Get the best prices on porta potty rentals. Okay, frequently asked questions. These are all the key things that you need. You need information. You need questions. How much does it cost to rent a porta potty? How soon can I have it delivered? Do you offer any other portable sanitation products? Is there a minimum rental period? These are all keyword phrases. Now, within the body of the content, okay, you're using, now they are using, um, porta potty, porta potty. You can see they're using different variations of the keyword phrase. You can see they're using porta potty pros, porta potties, porta potty rentals, portapottypros.com, and you see as they're going through here, this is their main keyword phrase. Okay, porta potties. So it's a very, very singular focus. Um, the main thing here is um, restroom trailers. Okay, there's another keyword phrase. Hand wash sanitations, portable sinks. What they're doing is they want all these keywords to rank for all these different keyword phrases. Okay. Now, if we go over and take a look at, I'll show you metrocrete.com. Okay, and I just want to mention you don't want to duplicate the content. You want to rewrite it in different sequences, different combinations of keywords. Now on Metrocrete, same strategy, and in this one, you can see that a little bit different layout. This one is very visual. So if you're in a different, certain industries, in porta potties, a porta potty, they've got their image at the top. That's all you need. If you're in the insurance market, you don't really need a lot of images. Images, they take up space. On this particular site, we set the photos so that they would load when somebody comes for the first time. They would load. They would load as they scroll down the page. Now, what we did on this one here, okay, so we have our content up here always rewritten in a different sequence. For each category here, like for epoxy floors, what we did was every city page links to a service page. And if you look at this one, see how the photos load slowly? That's sort of like a more complex strategy. In this particular industry, that's very valuable because it's a very visual. It's a big visual, and you can see what we did here. In this one here, what we're doing is we're drilling down real deep. We're talking about surface prep and primer application and build coats. We're using all these relative keyword phrases to epoxies, residential garages and basement floors and showrooms and retail floors. It's all basically the same information written so many different ways because we want to rank for as many keywords as possible. So by creating the relevance between our previous page, our main city pages, and then linking into this particular page in the service page, it's just adding a lot more keyword combinations. Google does see the relevance between pages, so you can rank for a lot of keywords that you don't have on a specific page because you've linked to another page. So if you look at, like let's say stained concrete floors, for example, same strategy, okay? Acid stained concrete, concrete dyes, integral color. I mean, we're mixing up the combinations of the keywords. Exterior concrete, we're just using a lot of different keyword phrases that relate to each topic because we want these city pages to rank for as many combinations of keywords as possible. So when you look at these two, the real strategy here is to create your city pages, link them over to service pages. You can't do too much. You can't go. You've got to be sort of tight with this strategy. So if, like for example, if you're in the insurance business, you don't want to create city pages that link to 10 or 15 different service pages. You want them to link to 3 or 4 service pages. So that's the model. The strategy for when you start getting into city pages, let's see if we can go back to this one here is okay, this is like a Connecticut page. And so what we're doing down here, like this one here is for Fairfield County, and we're diversifying it using a couple of different, oh, this is just Fairfield, Connecticut. So we're using a couple different zip codes. And you can see how we're building it out. If you look here, let's go over to, like Bayonne. It's the same thing. Now we are using call tracking numbers in these different areas because we want it to look very natural. We're not using 800 numbers. We're not just using one number through the entire state. But this is your Bayonne page, right? And you can see down in Bayonne, okay, we have Hudson County. We're just using ones. Now, what we did on these is we are embedding the local map, Google Map, which really helps a lot as well. So I hope that is helpful. That's really the basis of the whole city page strategy. You don't really want to go after tiny towns, with individual pages. You're better off to go with major metro markets and then list surrounding towns and zip codes because you can rank for 3 or 4 towns off one city page if you include the smaller towns surrounding another page. So let's say, for example, you're in Norwalk, Connecticut. You can rank for Wilton and Weston and maybe New Canaan, maybe even Westport and Darien off of a Norwalk page. You don't need to have a Westport page, a Norwalk page, a Darien page, a New Canaan, a Wilton, Connecticut page. You don't need to do that. You're better off to go after the major markets, list the surrounding towns. You do not want to have overlap. You want to avoid overlap. And that's mainly because you do not want to trip up Google along the way. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope this is helpful.